any of you guys ever taken a look at Amazon Studios' D.E.I playbook, which it expects screenwriters to follow? That playbook makes it utterly impossible to be creative. All right, technically they call it D.E.I.A because I guess D.E.I has been becoming too much of a dirty word in the public consciousness, and those idiots over at Amazon thought just throwing an A onto it would confuse the public. This is called the D.E.I.A playbook, and I underlined the word book 3 times because this shit is long. I'm not going to be covering the entire thing because I'll never get done, but just covering a few key excerpts I think will illustrate to all of you just how restrictive these guidelines are and how stifling they are to creativity. Of course, this woke loser's Bible takes exception to writing any characters of minority races that exhibit any stereotypes. For black characters, are they shown in connection to violence, either as perpetrators or victims, particularly gang violence? Yeah, because that never happens in the black community. Are they linked to storylines that focus on drugs and addiction or sexual promiscuity? Are they shown as a member of a family unit in ways that do not center on broken homes, single parents, or other aspects of family life that foreground difficulty rather than joy? Oh yeah, because black kids raised without fathers isn't a problem at all in the real world, is it? You get the point. Let's look at another one. For Asian characters, are men shown in a way that minimizes their sexuality or desirability as a romantic partner? This could include fulfilling the stereotype of a geek who is primarily interested in technology, math, or sciences. You know what's fucking hilarious to me? This DEI playbook purports to ensure accurate storytelling. Let me ask you something. Why are stereotypes a thing? We all know the answer to this question. Stereotypes are a thing because they exist in the real world. Not only do they exist in the real world, they are common in the real world. They are regular enough that they create a stereotype in the public consciousness. Like, let's take that Asian example. I'm half Japanese, and I grew up around a lot of Asian people. And among the guys, yeah, a lot of them were nerds. Stereotypes exist for a reason. Now, I'm not saying that a screenwriter should draw a minority character as a broad racial caricature, but if you don't allow them to do anything stereotypical at all, well, that wouldn't be accurate storytelling. And while we're talking about stereotypes, Amazon's playbook says that using them for humor is a big no-no. Like, look at this shit. We understand that the best comedy can derive from the unexpected and be an agent of truth-telling. We urge content creators focusing on comedy, humor, or satire to engage with their material in deep ways. Oh, fuck you. Ask the fundamental question, are you the right person to tell this story and or these jokes? Blow me. Anyone can make any joke that they fucking want. It's comedy, for fuck's sake. Begin by thinking about whether, as the storyteller, your humor comes from outside or inside the group at the center of the comedy. Out-group members using humor to mock or joke about characters from underrepresented groups can be highly problematic. So basically, if you're white, don't make any jokes about minority groups. Man, is that fucking condescending or what? This tedium just continues with the same fucking bullshit ad infinitum. But one last thing I wanted to bring up from this document is that Amazon Studios really takes exception to what it calls rescue storylines. It's in the domestic roles section, and it says, consider the depiction of caregiving and romantic relationships and whether they fall along stereotypical or traditional lines. What, like there's something wrong with traditional relationships? What it says traditional relationships are is heteronormative, women as subservient, men as protector, provider. So basically the relationships between men and women that have gotten the human race from the Stone Age to now, Amazon and MGM Studios has a big fucking problem with that. God, these people are fucking insufferable. It continues, for more information on the concept of benevolent sexism, read here. Fucking hell. Rescue storylines, or those focusing on chivalry, can be particularly problematic. And when they say rescue storylines, they mean storylines where women are rescued by men. Can you just imagine back in the day if creatives were hamstrung by this bullshit guideline about rescue storylines? Think of all the classic movies that we would not have. We wouldn't have Star Wars, we wouldn't have The Spy Who Loved Me, Big Trouble in Little China, Die Hard, Spider-Man, Alfred Hitchcock's Notorious, The Searchers. Indiana Jones, The Temple of Doom. This list can go on. Now, I ask you guys, how can any writer even hope to be creative if they're expected to follow not just the few guidelines that I've gone over in this video today, but an entire fucking tome of them? Seriously, guys, I have barely scratched the surface of this DEI playbook. There is so much more where this Orwellian bullshit came from. I'm going to include a link to this document down below in the description if you want to peruse it at your leisure. And I highly suggest you take a look at it because I know I gave you guys a fair warning that this thing is fucking long, but when you open the playbook, I still think you're going to be shocked at just how extensive it is. Anyway, that about wraps it up for this video. Chat it up in the comments down below because I do read them all. I'm Grega, and you all look after yourselves. Cheers.